Imagine being in a relationship where you feel truly heard, understood, and valued. Now, picture the opposite. Constant misunderstandings, unresolved conflicts, and growing distance. What separates these two realities? More often than not, it is the quality of communication. Communication is the invisible thread that weaves people together, whether in romantic partnerships, friendships, or family bonds. It is not just about talking, it is about connecting on a deeper level. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions are everywhere and time is limited, the importance of communication in relationships cannot be overstated. In this video, we are going to break down why communication matters, the common mistakes people make, and how you can transform your relationships by mastering this essential skill. Communication is more than just exchanging words. It is about sharing thoughts, feelings, and intentions in a way that builds trust and understanding. When communication flows freely, relationships thrive. Partners feel safe to express themselves, friends grow closer, and families become stronger. Studies have shown that couples who communicate effectively are more satisfied and resilient, even during tough times. It is not just about solving problems, it is about creating a foundation of mutual respect and empathy. Think about the last time you had a meaningful conversation with someone you care about. Chances are you walked away feeling more connected and supported. That is the power of communication. It turns ordinary moments into opportunities for growth and intimacy. Despite its importance, communication is often where relationships stumble. One of the biggest pitfalls is assuming that your partner or loved one can read your mind. Expecting others to know what you are feeling without expressing it leads to frustration and disappointment. Another common mistake is listening to respond, rather than listening to understand. When we focus on what we want to say next, we miss the chance to truly hear the other person. Interruptions, distractions, and defensiveness can quickly turn a simple conversation into a heated argument. Over time, these habits erode trust and create distance. Recognizing these pitfalls is the first step toward building healthier communication patterns. Let us look at some real-life stories that highlight the impact of communication. Take Sarah and James, for example. They were on the verge of breaking up because every conversation turned into a fight. It was not until they started practicing active listening, really hearing each other without judgment, that things began to change. Or consider Maria and her teenage son, who barely spoke for months. When Maria made an effort to communicate openly and without criticism, their relationship transformed. These stories are not unique. Every day, people repair and strengthen their relationships simply by changing the way they communicate. It is proof that even small shifts can make a big difference. What does science say about communication in relationships? Research from the Gottman Institute, a leading authority on relationship dynamics, reveals that couples who engage in positive communication are far more likely to stay together. Positive communication includes expressing appreciation, validating each other's feelings, and managing conflict constructively. Neuroscientists have also found that open, honest conversations trigger the release of oxytocin, the so-called bonding hormone, which deepens emotional connections. On the flip side, chronic miscommunication activates stress responses in the brain, making it harder to resolve issues. In other words, the way we communicate can literally rewire our brains and shape the future of our relationships. So, how can you become a better communicator? Start with active listening. This means giving your full attention, making eye contact, and showing genuine interest in what the other person is saying. Reflect back what you have heard to make sure you understand. Next, practice expressing your feelings honestly but respectfully. Use I statements such as, "I feel hurt when," instead of blaming or accusing. Be mindful of your body language. Sometimes a gentle touch or a warm smile says more than words ever could. Set aside time for regular check-ins, where you can talk openly about your needs and concerns. And do not forget the power of apologies and forgiveness. Admitting when you are wrong and making amends can heal even deep wounds. These strategies are simple, but they require practice and patience. Communication looks different depending on the relationship. In romantic partnerships, it is about balancing vulnerability with respect. In friendships, it is about being supportive and honest, even when it is uncomfortable. Family communication often involves navigating generational differences and old patterns. In the workplace, clear communication can prevent misunderstandings and foster collaboration. No matter the context, the principles remain the same. Listen actively, speak honestly, and approach every conversation with empathy. By adapting your communication style to fit the relationship, you can build stronger, more meaningful connections with everyone in your life. Of course, communication is not always easy. Cultural differences, past experiences, and personal insecurities can all create barriers. Sometimes it feels safer to stay silent than to risk conflict or rejection. But avoiding difficult conversations only makes problems worse in the long run. The key is to approach these barriers with curiosity rather than judgment. Ask questions, seek to understand, and be willing to learn from each other. If necessary, do not hesitate to seek help from a counselor or therapist. Remember, every relationship faces challenges, but with effort and openness, communication can overcome even the toughest obstacles. The benefits of good communication go far beyond avoiding arguments. Over time, it builds trust, deepens intimacy, and creates a sense of partnership. Couples who communicate well are better equipped to handle life's ups and downs. Friendships become more resilient and families grow closer. Even in professional settings, strong communication skills lead to greater success and satisfaction. In short, investing in communication is one of the best things you can do for your relationships and your overall well-being. If you want to transform your relationships, start with communication. Practice listening, speak from the heart, and do not be afraid to be vulnerable. For more insights and tips, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the VL Breaker channel. Together, let us break the barriers and build stronger connections.